Well, after parting with the artilleryman, I came at last to the Holland Tunnel. I entered that silent tube, anxious to know the fate of the great city on the other side of the Hudson. Cautiously, I came out of the tunnel and I made my way up Canal Street. I reached 14th Street, and there again was black powder, several bodies of an evil, ominous smell coming from the gratings of the cellars of some of the houses. I wandered up through the 30s and 40s, stood alone on Times Square, caught sight of a lean dog running down 7th Avenue with a piece of dark brown meat in his jaws, a pack of starving mongrels at his heels. He made a wide circle around me as though he feared I might prove a fresh competitor. I wandered up Broadway in the direction of that strange powder, past silent shop windows displaying their mute wares to empty streets, past the Capitol Theater, dark, silent, past a shooting gallery where an arrested line of wooden ducks were faced by a row of empty guns. I reached Columbus Circle and I saw models of 1939 motor cars standing in showrooms facing the empty streets. Over the top of the General Motors building, I caught sight of a flock of black birds circling ominously in the sky. I hurried on. Suddenly, I caught sight of a Martian machine standing somewhere in Central Park, its cowling gleaming in the late afternoon sun. An insane idea. I rushed recklessly across Columbus Circle and climbed a small hill near the pond at 60th Street. I entered the park, and there I could see, standing in a silent row along the mall, 19 of those great metal titans, their cowls empty, their arms hanging listlessly by their sides. I looked in vain for the monsters that inhabited those machines. Suddenly, my eyes were drawn to the immense flock of black birds that hovered directly below me. They circled the ground. And there, before my eyes, stark and silent, lay the Martians with the hungry birds pecking and tearing shreds of dark brown meat from their dead bodies. Later, when their bodies were examined in laboratories, it was found that they had been killed by the putrefactive and diseased bacteria against which their systems were unprepared. Slain after all of man's defenses had failed by the humblest things that God in all of his wisdom had placed upon this earth. Before the cylinder fell, there was a general persuasion over this earth that throughout the vastness of space, no life existed beyond the petty surface of our minute sphere. Now we see further. Dim and wonderful is the vision I have conjured up in my mind of life spreading slowly from this little seedbed of the solar system throughout the inanimate vastness of sidereal space, but that's a remote vision. Maybe that the destruction of the Martians is only a reprieve to them and not to us. The future ordained, perhaps. Strange it now seems to sit in my peaceful study, Princeton, writing down the last chapter of the record begun at a deserted farmhouse near Grover's Mill. Strange to watch children playing in the streets. Strange to see young people strolling on the green where the new spring grass heals the last black scars of a bruised earth. Strange to watch sightseers enter the museum where the disassembled parts of a Martian machine are kept on public view. Strange when I recall the time when I first saw it. Bright, clean cut, hard, and silent under the dawn of that last great day. This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen. out of character, to assure you that the War of the Worlds holds no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. The Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet, jumping out of a bush and saying, boo. Starting now, we couldn't soak all of your windows and steal all of your garden gates by tomorrow night, so we did the best next thing. We annihilated the world before your very ears and utterly destroyed the CBS. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it and that both institutions are still open for business. So goodbye, everyone, and remember, please, for the next day or so, the terrible lesson that you have learned here tonight. That grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch. And if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian. It's Halloween.
Has brought you The War of the World by H.G. Wells, the 17th in its weekly series of dramatic broadcasts featuring Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air. Next week, we present a dramatization of 3 famous short stories. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.